Good evening, everyone. I wanted to have an opportunity to brief the press on some late-breaking developments. First of all, I want to thank the leadership of Mta Workers Hospital. I just came from a visit that I'll reference in a couple of moments, but I want to thank Ken Gibbs and his entire leadership team for the sensitivity that they've dealt with this as they started getting patients at 8:45 this morning. I'm joined here today with the CEO of the MTA, Jana Lieber. We'll have some updates if you have any questions on the status of trains and what we know thus far, as well as my head of state operations, director of state operations, Catherine Garcia, who has been indispensable in this process. Late breaking news is that there has been a person of interest identified, a person associated with the U-Haul, and I want to thank our partners in law enforcement for their diligence working throughout the day, but also to New Yorkers. We're going to count on all of you to be vigilant, to keep your eyes open, to know how to use the tip lines and reach out if you see anyone who fits the description that has been posted thus far. That'll be an important step toward the resolution of what has been a very long, stressful day for everyone from the MTA, the police departments, even places like this amazing hospital that unexpectedly saw a number of patients arrive. In fact, at this hospital, they were dealing with young people. They were a 12-year-old, a 13-year-old, a 16-year-old, and an 18-year-old who arrived this morning. I had the opportunity to meet the 18-year-old patient, a young Latino man who was a student at the Borough of Manhattan Community College. He was on his way to school, and he was awaiting his surgery on an injury. It's either a bullet wound or a shrapnel wound. And I had a chance to talk to his doctors about his condition, but he was able to communicate with me. He seems to be doing well and is in very good spirits, as well as his mother and grandmother who are there as well. Also had a chance to have a challenging encounter with a woman, the mother of a 16-year-old victim who just had hand surgery, and I thank God for the incredible talents of the doctors here to be able to restore life to his thumb. And after surgery, he should be able to be discharged tomorrow because of a long recovery. His mother does not speak English. She is Chinese. She is there alone. And it was so sad to hear her, through a translator, talk about her anxiety. All she has is her son, and just the two of them. And she does not know what she's going to do when she leaves. So I had a long, long hug with her and let her know that we send the love of all New Yorkers. She just lost her job as a home health care aide. If anyone wants a very warm, caring person to be a home health care aide, I'm going to give her a great recommendation. So let's make sure she has one less thing to worry about, a wonderful person. So I just wanted to come out here and show support again, thanking the MTA workers who with their quick action averted even more tragedy this morning. All the fellow riders this morning who stepped up to help people when they're down and injured, just another testament of how incredible New Yorkers are, as well as the law enforcement, healthcare teams, and everyone who comes together so powerfully in a time of crisis. And we have to ensure that this specter of gun violence in our streets and in our subways ends once and for all. I'm committed to working with the mayor to deploy the resources, and we have our MTA police very vigilant working on the grounds as well. So we're there to assist, we're there to help, as well as continue working with our federal partners on needs. We did establish a gun interdiction task force, a 9-state group of individuals who come together regularly, and we believe that if this person has left the state, we'll be able to use the resources of our connections and relationships that we have with 9 neighboring states to help bring this person to justice. So we hope this is resolved soon. New Yorkers just want to get on with life. I took the subway over here earlier this evening with Jano to let New Yorkers know we appreciate their resiliency, how tough they are, that they still keep coming on this subway. And I was really grateful to see that New Yorkers cannot be kept down. It was a testament to that today we saw on our subway ride. So with any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. Also anything on the MTA, Jano and Catherine Garcia has questions to answer, any questions to answer on state operations.
Governor, would you call this terror? I mean, even though it might be somebody would you call this an act of terror?
Certainly people do feel terrorized by this action, but the terrorism has a legal term. And we have to make sure that the description of the intent behind it, they'll be finding evidence. They'll be looking at the person's laptop. They'll be looking at social media. They'll be able to identify the motive and the intentionality behind it, and therefore that'll determine whether it fits the legal description of terrorist activity. In my heart, this is a terrorizing action to put fear in the hearts of New Yorkers, but they don't know who they're messing with. They do not know that we will not bow down to an individual with a depraved heart who tries to strike terror in our hearts. It wasn't successful. New Yorkers are back at it. They're back on the subways. They're back in our restaurants. They're back being normal once again.
Governor, can you tell us how many victims there's within the discrepancy about how many victims there are? There were 16 at the scene when we last saw you. Now we're here at 29. How many victims are there? And I heard you say some ages. What was the age range? Who was the youngest victim? Who was the oldest?
The youngest one here was 12 years old. I can confirm that. I don't know the children. I believe all the children, the young people came here. This is the only pediatric trauma center in the borough, so I believe they all arrived here. They had 4 children and 1 adult. They count the 18-year-old as the adult. So there were 5 patients that were brought here today. I don't know more on the conditions. I do know some of the numbers increased. It was not shooting victims. It was more likely police officers who had succumbed to the overcoming of smoke, and that seems to be more smoke-related injuries. I spoke to some of the doctors here today about what's involved in that. A lot of it's monitoring the blood levels, making sure no toxins got in the blood is the concern, but those are not gunshot wounds.
Governor, were all 4 of the children you just spoke with or met with on the way to school this week?
Yes, they were. But the number, there's only 2 in the hospital right now. The earlier ones were discharged with smoke inhalation. So the younger ones are fine. The families I spoke to are the 16-year-old and the 18-year-old. But yes, they're all on their way to school today.
Governor, what were people saying to you on the subway? We've been talking to people who are hesitant. So were you encountering that with people on the trains?
We got a lot of high fives and good job, Governor, which I appreciated. And you can see in their eyes, they will not bow down. They are tough. They've been through so much before, but I will let Jano speak to his ridership. He knows them better than anyone. But I just thought it showed what New Yorkers are made out of. And we want them to continue coming back. The last time there was a mass shooting on our subway system, I believe it was 1984. So I don't want to act as if and treat it as a normal experience on our subway. This is a rarity, but one instance like this is one too many.
How about the video?
I think the governor has handled it exactly right on. The vibe from New Yorkers is, we're not backing down. We're going about our lives. New Yorkers have just been through COVID. They've overcome Superstorm Sandy. They've been through the financial crisis, 9/11. They are incredibly strong. But they're also mindful of the need for all of us to team up and increase subway safety. Governor, Mayor Adams made a commitment to subway safety before this event. We've heard from all the levels of government. That commitment is redoubled today. And we've seen it even before this event. More cops on the platform, more cops on trains. Mayor Adams has said he's going to go even further today. I think that's going to make a difference. It's already started today.
How about the video cameras not working in the subway station where the incident happened?
We have 10,000 cameras, almost 10,000 cameras in the system, up from 3,000 only a few years ago. We spent hundreds of millions of dollars. We have 600 cameras just on the section of the N line in Brooklyn. Premature to say which cameras were exactly right and produced the best evidence, but the whole system is really, of cameras is really working. It's producing a lot of arrests. When bad guys do stuff, we always seem to get a picture. The cops today were looking at cameras up and down the system because they wanted to see where this criminal had entered the system, as well as where he may have left. I think it's a big help over the long run.
Anyone else?
Jackie, what's about now that Passover?
Pardon me?
Now that's being Passover.
Now it's Passover.
The Jewish community, would there be more cops on the streets?
Yes, there'll be more police on the streets for sure. It's something we take very seriously as we head into the holiday season, Passover, Easter to follow. So there will be more police to protect people, absolutely.
Just one more thing. So let me clarify. You have 2 people still here
Yes.
at this hospital.
Yes.
Just 2.
Just the children came here.
Right. So just 2 people from the
Yes.
incident are here.
Yes, 2 of
And are you going to Langone and are you going to?
We may be making the rounds. We're trying to get updates as the situation unfolds, and so we'll try to visit more patients and their families. And really, all I wanted to do is extend the love of 20 million New Yorkers to all of them and give them a virtual as well as a personal embrace. It was very important to me just to see the moms at their time of great stress. There's nothing more frightening for a mom or a dad than to see your child injured. I've had children injured before, and it just hits you right here. So I just wanted to give a little comfort to a mom in need tonight. Thank you.
Is there a doctor that can talk to us?
Hospitals, how many patients are in the other hospitals? How many patients are hospitalized?
Do you have any information on
No,
that?
we don't. We have a little bit, but it's many people are. Many of the patients are being released now as we speak. So there are ones at Mongo and there are ones at Methodist for the other 2 hospitals.
Okay, thanks everyone. Thank you
for
so
coming
much.
out. Appreciate it.
Doctor?